With the coin of marriage equality for same-sex couples being tossed into the air of our social arena, comes the flip side of that coin, D-I-V-O-R-C-E. Divorce is so daunting that the mother in Tammy Wynette's country western song had to spell it out so her little boy would not know if it's an impending threat on their family. No matter how you spell it, the process is stressful. Tonight, we speak to Beth Proudfoot, licensed marriage and family therapist, about how to make that divorce peaceful, handle your emotions, and talk to your kids about it. Beth, thank you for coming into the studio tonight and giving us this great advice about how we can handle these types of situations. How is it different with the LGBT community with kids and divorces?
Well, I think in many ways it's the same. I think for parents, there's a little bit of difference. I mean, I think sometimes it's a small community, sure. And everybody knows everybody else's business, and that kind of can add to the stress. Mm-hmm. It's also just really unfair. I mean, the rules are just really, really unfair. And yes. So then, on top of all the rest of the emotional earthquake that the parents are going through, there's this anger about how unfair it is.
Yes. And perhaps the support network is a little bit different as well?
I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. The community has fought so hard. And then to have those marriages fail, yes. It's tough on everybody.
How much do we need to tell our kids about the situation if we're going through divorces? I know maybe it depends on their ages. Does it depend on their maturity, or how do we talk to our kids about this?
It's very important to think about that and actually to not blurt it all out until you and your partner have really talked about it, have come up with a story that you both agree on about why we're getting divorced, and can have a really nice message to your kids about, we are getting divorced, but we're both going to stay your parents. We're both going to care for you and love you and do our best to make your life change as little as possible.
That's very important, because I think a child might feel a little bit abandoned, but also has some stress and some fears.
Oh, absolutely.
What is one of the major fears that kids have that you've noticed?
One thing that kids are really worried about is that you're going to make them stand up in court and say which parent they like the best. Oh. Which is just so sad, because really, that doesn't happen. But kids are worried about that. They really are scared. They're also scared. I mean, there's a lot of things. Am I going to have to move? Because they know a lot of their friends have had to move with a divorce, and often this does have to happen.
Sure.
Are you guys going to come to my graduation? If you've got a high school age kid, it's like, wait a minute, how is this going to work? Because my friend's parents, boy, they couldn't even be in the same room without trying to kill each other, and so they're worried about a lot of different things.
Okay.
I think, though, for little kids, one of the first things that they learn about what's steady about the world is that their family is what's steady, right? Yes. So if you're saying the family's not steady and the family can break up, what else isn't true about the world?
Well, that kind of pulls the rug right from under them, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It feels like an earthquake. It feels like there's no floor. When I see kids for therapy, when our parents are going through a divorce, oftentimes they'll make a house out of my popsicle sticks with a serious floor.
Oh.
It's like, this is contained. It's steady. It has a floor. It's mine. And they need that. They need that sense of that some things are going to stay the same. And that's one thing that when I'm talking with parents about how to talk to their kids about the divorce, tell them what's going to stay the same.
Okay.
Yeah?
So they can be assured that both parents will still participate in some major events in their lives?
Absolutely. And they're going to still have their friends. Maybe they'll be in a different house, but their parents are going to make sure they have time with their old friends. What's going to stay the same?
Okay.
That's really important for kids.
Sure. Who's going to take me to baseball practice? Who's going to take me to the movies?
You guys couldn't figure out the schedule when you were married. How are you going to figure out the schedule now that you're not even living in the same house? I mean, this is they're thinking about all of this.
Well, that's everyday life that kids think about too. Yeah. And that all of us do, but especially children.
And kids are egocentric. It's all about them. They want to know. They don't want to know about what's happening in your life. They don't want to have to support you or take care of you. And this is a mistake parents sometimes make, is they try to ask their children for support because they're going through a hard time. Their children are in the room. And that's it. Puts the kids in a very uncomfortable position. Okay. They don't want to take care of their parent. They want their parent to take care of them.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. And these are good things to keep in mind should these type of things happen. But you also have written a book about parenting and positive parenting. And you do counseling and do workshops, yes?
I absolutely do. And I see children in my office. I see couples in my office who are thinking about divorce, who are going through the process, who are trying to deal with the aftermath and their own feelings and the feelings of their children.
All right, well, these are really good steps that can put us, towards the right direction. Beth Proudfoot of the Child and Family Counseling Group, thank you again for joining us. For more information, you can reach the Child and Family Counseling Group at area code 408-351-1044 or on their website at childfamilygroup.com. Coming up next, the Castro Street Fair. You're watching Outlook Video.